Okay guys, welcome back to episode 5 I think. I can't actually remember, episode 6 I think. Let's check quick. Yeah, episode 6. Today we're going to be working on just destroying the asteroids and spawning new asteroids into the scene if the current asteroid that's going to be destroyed is over a certain size I think. If not, then we're just going to take it out the scene completely and that's going to be that asteroid just gone. So it's going to be fairly short, just a few lines of code today, which is good because our previous episode, which was spawning in the asteroids, took a lot longer than I thought it was. It was over 40 minutes. So today's going to be a lot shorter. We're going to be working on only destroying the asteroids when you shoot them with the bullets. But yeah, and then hopefully in the next episode we will start working on things like destroying the player when it collides with some of the asteroids. And maybe some UI elements as well, so like the score of the player and the life count. Sorry. So let's jump straight into it and get started. So let's see, let's try the screen. Yeah, it is. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Today we're going to be working on destroying the asteroids. We've got a little bit of a checklist to go through. It's not very long. In fact, we probably won't even come back to this because it's fairly simple. So let's get straight into it. So let's play the game quick and have a look and see where we left off in our previous episode. So we can play the game and we can shoot bullets, we can rotate the player, and we can also destroy some of the, well, we can't destroy any of the asteroids yet because that's what we're going to be working on today. But like I said, you can move the player up and down the scene. Also, I don't know if for this game, I don't know if like allowing the asteroids to collide with each other is a good idea. They are currently colliding with each other now. But anyway, we'll focus that probably on towards the end of the game. So let's start this and let's see what's first on the list. So we need to create a function in our asteroids class here that is called, let's get rid of this, so we'll do that later. So this is a function that comes with Unity. It is called on collision enter I think. So let's go and add that into here. So on collision enter 2D, and this is where we're going to check if our asteroid is greater than a certain size, and if it is greater than the size that we're looking for, then we can go and spawn in smaller asteroids at the location of where the bullet was hit, or sorry, where the asteroid was hit by the bullet. And if the asteroid is smaller than a certain size, then we're just going to destroy it completely, and that's going to be that asteroid gone. One less asteroid for you to break. So the first thing we want to do here is we want to check if we want to check what's hitting the asteroid. So over here, let's go and create an if function. So here we can say if collision dot transform I think dot tag. Sorry, my bad. Collision dot game object, that's the one. Game object dot tag. So this is where we're going to compare tags. So I don't know if we have added a tag onto our bullet, but let's go ahead and check that. So if we go onto our bullet prefab, double click on that, our bullet currently has no tag, so we need to go and add that onto it, otherwise this code won't work. So we can add in a new tag. So add in a new tag called bullet. You could probably also use the name, but we're going to use tags. We're going to compare the tags. So let's go back. Now this should work. So if collision.gameObject.tag is equal to the word bullet, so make sure it's spelled correctly as your actual tag, then we want to go and do something in here. So let's just do this and see if it works. So let's say debug debug.log hit. So if we play the game and whenever our bullet touches a asteroid, we should get a console log here in the editor saying hit. So let's go test that out. Turn the music down, let's put it loud. What's next on this? Okay, so let's tick this off quick before the game starts. Oh, I think it started. Okay, so let's play this game quick. So let's wait for see. Okay, so you can see that whenever we hit a asteroid, we get the word hit being printed out. So let's go and jump out of there, and let's go and tick some things off. So create a new function. We've done that. We've added a bullet tag to the bullet prefab. Check for correct bullet tag. Okay, so that's good. Cool. So now that we've checked to see if we are actually getting hit by a bullet, we can now turn our focus on checking on the size of the asteroid. So for this, you can see that in our asteroid class we already have a size here. We have a current size, we have a minimum size and a maximum size. So by default the size is always going to be set to 1. That is updated whenever we spawn in a new asteroid. It gets updated, so it picks a size between the minimum size and the maximum, which is 0.5 and 1.5. That way the asteroids are all random size. So what we want to do is if the asteroid is, or when we go and create a new asteroid, in other words, when you hit one of the current asteroids, we're going to create an asteroid that is half of the previous one's size. So if we want to say if the new asteroid size is less than 0.5, then we don't want to go and create another asteroid. We just want to get rid of the asteroid, the first one, and then not spawn a new one. And if it is greater than 0.5, then we can go ahead and spawn in some new ones or smaller ones. So to do that, let's go and say if if this dot size times 0.5 is greater than or equal to this dot minimum size, then only if that is true, then we can go ahead and create a new asteroid. So in here we're going to call a function or method that we're going to make, and this is going to be called create, or let's say spawn. What can we call it? Spawn small. You can create whatever you want, but for now we'll say spawn small asteroids. But also, something else that we're going to do is we aren't going to just create a single. What am I doing? We don't want those brackets. We just want small. This, whatever that looks like. So that's what we want. What was going on about? So I can't remember. Okay, so when we create new asteroids to be spawned into the scene, we're not just going to create one asteroid. We're going to probably generate a random number between like maybe 1 and 4. And then that is how many asteroids are going to be put into the place of where you hit the previous big one. So let us go and do this. First of all, let's create this method so we can get rid of this error. So let's go private void. I'm just going to copy this so that we don't have to type it. Private void spawn small asteroid, like that. That should get rid of that error. So what's next? So let's go and say, let's check our checklist quick. So we've checked the size. If the size is greater than, or if the size times 0.5 is greater than the minimum size, then it'll be fine to spawn a new one. So now we need to go ahead and create a new asteroid, or we need to go and destroy the current asteroid. But no matter what the size of the new asteroid is going to be, we always want to destroy the current asteroid that you hit. So to do that, out of our if statement, we are just going to go and say destroy this dot game object. So that is going to, obviously, like I said, always this is going to destroy the game object that is attached to the script. In this case it will be our asteroid. So that should take care of destroying the asteroid. So let's go ahead and see if that works. So that is going to, what's it going to do? It is going to destroy the asteroid, but obviously it's not going to do anything because we haven't added anything into our spawn small asteroid script yet, or method. Okay, so things are happening a lot, quite quick. So let's go and see. Okay, so you can see that our asteroids are getting destroyed. So that is a step in the right direction. Cool. What I do want to do is I want to change the size of those asteroids because they look quite big, but we'll figure that out later. So what are we going to do in here? In here we are going to do a bunch of things. First of all, we need to create a new position where we want to spawn the new asteroids. But then we also want to give the the new position an offset so that the two asteroids don't spawn in the exact same place. So to do this, what we're going to do, I'm going to get my fancy tool that I just got. Let's see where it is. Screen brush. Cool. So show screen brush. What we're going to do is I'm going to play this quick. Play the game. Let's set this up and see. I'm going to try and pause it on. What am I doing? Okay, so let's pause the game over there. So let's try and do this. So show this. So here I've got a circle. So say we what's it called? Say we hit this asteroid here and the point of contact is over here. So let's draw a circle around that. When we spawn a new asteroid, the asteroid will obviously get spawned over here at our point of contact, which is fine, but we don't really want all of them to spawn in the exact same place because then it wouldn't really look real. We want to make it look like it's kind of shattering. So to do that, what we're going to do is we are going to tell our asteroid, well, not our asteroid, but our code is going to generate a random it's going to generate a circle just the same way as we spawned all of our asteroids in the game. We're going to do the same thing for respawning our smaller asteroids. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a position, but then we're also going to tell it to generate a random point inside this unit circle. So from the center over here somewhere, it's going to generate a random value from there to the outside, and then at whatever that value is, we're going to times it by 0.5, and that's going to give us a random value inside of the circle where our new asteroid is going to be spawned. So it could be over there, could be over there, or over there, somewhere in the circle here. So that is how we're going to generate our what's it called? Let's go. How do we hide screen brush? Okay, cool. So that is how we are going to generate a random position for our new smaller asteroids. So let's go and do this. So in here we want to create a new vector 2, and that is going to be called, we'll call that position for now. So random or vector 2 position is equal to this dot what am I doing? This dot transform dot position. Cool. So that is obviously going to be the position of the asteroid that you hit, and then what we want to do is we want to give this an offset, like I said. So we're going to add an offset to our position. So we can go and say position, or when I do that, position is equal to, so we're going to add a random value inside of the circle. So what is that? Random dot inside unit circle, and then we also want to times that by 0.5. So that is going to give us a very small offset inside of that circle. So that is going to take care of that offset. So now we want to go ahead and create a new asteroid. So let's go and instantiate an asteroid here. So here we have to say asteroid, same as we did before, asteroid, but instead of actually calling it an asteroid like we did before, I'm just going to copy that and it'll save us some time. So before we do that, let's change the thing. Let's change a few here. So instead of calling it an asteroid, we're going to call it small asteroid, like that. And then obviously we need to change a few things. We don't really have a prefab, so we'll just say this. That's it. So we'll spawn an asteroid. Our spawn point is now going to be our position, and then obviously our rotation. We want the current rotation of the asteroid, so we'll say this dot transform dot not position, rotation, like that. So that's good. So let's go and see what that does. So that should spawn in a new asteroid into the scene. However, that is not going to really do anything other than spawn it into the scene. So let's go and see what that looks like. We still have to change things like our size, and then add in this trajectory so we can create a new spawning position, add it offset within a circle. So you've got two more things to do. So let's go and see how this works. So we can destroy one. So you can see that destroys asteroids, but then it doesn't really look like it's destroying it because it's just spawning a new one. But that's working nicely. So the next thing we want to do is we want to change the size. So here we can go and say small asteroid dot size is equal to this dot size times 0.5. So that should be fine, because obviously we checked to see if the size is going to be fine when we times it by 0.5. So whatever we do over here, the size won't be smaller than 0.5 when it gets spawned into the scene. And the next thing we need to do is a small asteroid dot set trajectory, and then for here all we want to say is we want to give it a random trajectory within that circle, so random trajectory from the center of the circle. So for that we can go and say random dot inside unit circle. So it's going to generate a random trajectory, and all we want to do is we want to normalize that. So we'll go ahead and sign that off like that. So that should be it. So that should be all the code that we need for this to work perfectly fine. So let's go and see what that does. There's only one last thing we need to do, and I'll show you now. So what this does, it is going to spawn a random asteroid, but that's it. It's just going to spawn one asteroid, which is not what we want. We want multiple asteroids to be spawned if we ever get some asteroids. So let's see. So you can see that we are getting asteroids spawned into the scene. Okay, we need a big asteroid. Let's try that. Okay, so you saw that one. That's the asteroid that got spawned into the scene. But we want some more asteroids to be spawned. So let's go and say here. Let's go and say int random is equal to random dot range. I think it is random dot range, and we'll give this 0 and 4. So that's going to generate a random number between 0 and 4, and then in here we'll say, or let's say 4 int, or let's say in brackets 4 int I is equal to random int. Then we want to say I can't remember how to do for loop. Forgot. Random int is less than, I think, less than or equal to 4. Is that gonna work? Yeah, it should work. And then random int plus plus, like that. Hopefully that will work. I can't remember. A long time since we've done a for loop, so we'll cut that and paste that in there. So what that's going to do is just going to run this code however many times random int is. So we'll save that, and then let's what am I doing? Okay, so this is wrong. So here we need to go and say I is less than or equal to 4, and then random int change that to I. So that's going to work. So that's not going to run if I is greater than the random integer. So we'll save that, and then let's see if we get multiple asteroids spawning into the scene. Hopefully we do, because then that will be it for this episode. So let's go and tick some things off. So we've added the half size, and we've also set the trajectory, so that's episode 6 complete. So let's play the game and see what we get. So what do we do next? Next we are working on UI and killing the player when it collides. Cool, like that. So, well, cool. So you can see it's added new asteroids, like what am I doing? I can't control my own player. So whenever we destroy an asteroid, you get 3 asteroids spawned there. There you get 0. Let's try another one. It's so hard to hit the big ones. So okay, so there you got 4. Let's try again. Okay, so you get multiple asteroids every time. So I'm probably gonna change that to about. Let's try make it smaller from all set 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4. So actually, we'll set 2. Yeah, we'll set 0 to 2 because then that's 3 because it'll be 0, 1, and 2. So that's good. We'll save that. See if we can jump back in here and see what that looks like. We might have to add some extra speed onto the asteroid, or the new asteroids that get spawned in, just because they look a little bit slow. But let's have a look and see what this looks like. So if we play the game, hopefully we get a big asteroid that we can hit. Okay, good. So there we still got 4. We got 4 there again. There we got 5. Have I done something wrong here? For int I is equal to random. Oh, I think I've done this wrong. For int I is less than. Wait. Okay, yeah, I'm doing something wrong. Int I is equal to 0. That's what it's supposed to be, and then I is less than or equal to random integer. I've got this completely wrong. What am I doing? And then I add 1 until you get to the value of random integer. So this should now work perfectly fine. It's been a long time since I've written a for loop. Getting mixed up, so let's go and start this game and play the game again, and hopefully now it works. So let's try. So where's a big asteroid? There's one. Okay, so there we got 1. We need another big asteroid. Okay, so there we got 2. Let's try break that one. Oh, missed it. There we got 2. Okay, there we also got 2. I keep forgetting to turn the player. I can't destroy. Okay, so it looks like, where am I going? Oh, I'm getting lost. Can't play the game. Okay, so I think that's working fine. Okay, so there we got 1. Okay, anyway, it's working a lot better than what it was, which is great. That's much better. So that is probably going to be it for this episode. So in the next episode, we're going to be working on destroying the player whenever you collide with an asteroid. I think I'm also going to make it so that the asteroids don't collide into each other, which will probably make the game a little bit easier. And then depending on how long that will take, we'll work on the UI, so adding in some score, and then also we need to add in like a life counter, so give the player a few lives so that they can actually get a nice decent score. But yeah, that's it for this episode. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave a comment if you have suggestions for any other game videos you want to see, and also like the video if you liked it. But yeah, that's it for this episode, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.